So I'm Liz, and this is Michael, and we're presenting Ryma, or it might be Ryma. I don't know how you pronounce Old Norse, but it means to stow, as in to stow luggage. So it's a luggage app. The challenge, it was a way to allow guests to track their luggage between drop-off and delivery to their stateroom, and we wanted to take into concern a couple of considerations. The demographics, that a lot of them are older. They don't want to have to download an app just for coming onto a cruise. We wanted it to be simple. We didn't want to have to charge people for getting SMS messages. As someone who's traveled, we both have actually traveled internationally a lot, so we know that adds up very quickly, and that the first thing I do when I get to a foreign country is I turn my phone off and onto airplane mode. And some additional uses for it would be any communication with the guest is an upsell opportunity, so that as well as while they're waiting for their luggage to get there, they would have opportunities to be reminded to go enjoy the bar, go pick out your excursion, go figure out your entertainment for the evening. So our solution is a Rails and React based web application that allows guests to scan a QR code from the website, and that once they scan it, it'll take to a screen. It'll and when the staff also scans it, it'll automatically update it. So phase one, staff prep. They'll have to come up with a way to print these, that these are pre-assigned to the database. It'd be kind of like if you were at an airport and how they print your luggage tags right there. Same idea, printing the QR code, slap one onto the luggage, give one out to the staff or to the guest. So then once the guest browses the page, or the guest will scan it, and they'll be able to browse the page. The page requests that the guest scan their tag. The scan triggers the guest browser to redirect to a unique URL associated with their unique reservation number. And in future releases, the application will also send the URL via email as a backup. The staff updates as our guests explore the ships and hopefully take in the suggestion. The luggage goes through a process of loading and delivery. Right now, we just have that it's in transit and delivered, but in theory, all you need to do is have a staff who has some sort of smartphone or device that they just scan it and it'll continually update, so you can put in other options of it's not just delivered, it's in transit, it's been checked in, etc. And then when the porter delivers it, they scan it.
The idea there was that given the fact that you're only sort of using shipboard Wi-Fi, and also given the age demographics that people are not going to want to just like type in a URL, the idea was to have Raspberry Pis or similar scattered around the ship, broadcasting the URL for the production app on a Bluetooth, and we had it set up where you got like a push notification that that you could just click on and it would take you straight to the URL, so there wouldn't be any awkward when you check in your bags at the reservation counter, the bellhop or whoever has to like type in the URL for you, which is just all automatic.
Okay, and now for the demonstration of the actual app. So we have here on your left, this is what the guest would be seeing. As you can see, we just have it very simply that the staff sees a very similar thing.
I should point out that the staff side is got user, like you have to log into it.
Yes. So take a picture. I have a few that have been uploaded onto my computer.
We used an open source React based QR code scanner that hooks into the iPhone camera, but it's kind of finicky, so we're not going to demo that part. So we're just going to upload the QR codes themselves.
Yeah. If we were getting paid, we would work out on creating that ourselves. Yeah. So as you can see, when you scan it, comes in, welcome aboard. We picked that they were on the Viking Ra, but we have a raidcast that Michael came up with that would pull everything.
All of our passengers are Game of Thrones characters.
Yes. So it's Jon Snow. He's in room 211, and his luggage is in transit. As you can see, in the meantime, we're saying, hey, join us in the lounge, pick your excursions. Here's a map of where you'll be going so you can start planning your next day's events. And then obviously connect and share so that then they can put on Facebook, Twitter, whatever they use. So then on the staff page if we scan the same one, that was Jon Snow.
Yep.
So we say that the bags are delivered. Right now we have this on a 10-second, every 10 seconds it updates, so give it a few seconds. And it was working earlier. There we go,
Boom.
Nice delivered status. So then obviously things that we didn't necessarily have time, and the scope of it was to create that it would actually get push notifications when they're delivered.
I can sort of talk about the technical stuff. When we did this hackathon, what we really wanted to do was kind of use the Ruby on Rails 5.1, the React integration to see if we could bring in, see if we could sort of bring in this dynamic front end, which actually Liz and I had neither of us actually tried to do that before. It ended up being sort of a bad choice for,
Yeah, he has Rails and Java experience, and I did at the Iron Yard. I did React, and now I work in Rails. But combining React and Rails takes a lot more effort than I really thought it was, and a lot more effort than Gavin Stark made it seem like.
But long story short on that, the way it's set up is that all of the passengers are set up in a database. Database is run by the Rails, which is set up as an API. There's just an API URL that her front end is calling. That's pulling back from the database. I wrote a pretty simple rake task that just takes a CSV file and loads stuff into the database. So the idea there was that whatever system already exists for reservations, you can probably export it to CSV and modify the rake text to load it into this app's database. So that API is set up, and then most of this is running on the React front end. We're just sort of using passing a unique ID around in the URL so it knows which passenger we're talking about.
You can't see it, but both of them will say guest / and then the unique reservation number and admin / unique reservation number.
But so when it goes to this page, it makes an API call to the database, gets back the information. She has it set on a 10-second auto update, so it is pinging the API pretty often. That's another thing that we would have to worry about going forward. And then this thing just updates, when you press the button, it updates the bag status to being true, so that it shows up as delivered from the database.